Yeah, g'day guys, it's Matt here. And yes, we have a bit of a story to tell. Now, we got a fair bit of widespread rain. The main farm got about 14 mil, I think. The development block got 60 mils and the lease block got about 30, I think. So it was fairly widespread rain, and I thought I might duck off for a quick little break. And there was not really much chance that it would dry out in time before the next lot of rain came. But while I was away, we had really windy conditions, hot weather, and yeah, it actually dried down and surprised everyone. And so everyone back here at home here was just going nuts, trying to get as much off as possible again. So started on the lease block. So there was some wheat there that we were able to get done, but obviously the conditions were quite wet. So yeah, there was bog trucks, there was all sorts going on, but we were able to get about another 1,000 tonne off. And also started on a bit of the linseed. So both headers, we split them up. So that's a rough sort of outline of what happened. So yeah, I came back, but it was sort of a bit late. But anyway, lesson learnt. Just don't even think about having a break in the middle of harvest. We have also found out that the rock damage on the header is a lot worse than we thought. But I think we'll see it out. It'll see us out till the end of harvest, and then we'll have to reassess and work out what to do. But anyway, I gave Dad a GoPro so he could take a bit here and there, not thinking that it was going to be the only GoPro footage we were going to get. So he was just, thought he might be able to take a bit here and there just to fill in. I think that's it for the explanation. We'll get into it. Here we have the new plate to replace the one that the rock went through. And here's the old plate that's just come out. We had to jiggle the rotor quite a bit to get it out because it's got a lot more corners on it now. And that's the dodgy repair that we did. And this is the other side of it. You can just see in front of this rasp bar the trailing edge of the spiral that feeds the straw into the concave. The stone caught it and bent it and cracked it away from the base of the rotor, and you can see the bend in it, which is causing it to not feed correctly. And there's scratch marks where the stone hit, and then tried to digest it when it was spinning this way. So there we go. So we've got to work out how to fix that now. So what we ended up doing was we got the local metal magician out, and yeah, he ended up just, obviously you can see there, heating up the bent over spiral, and yeah, just starting to straighten that out, and yeah, fix it all up. So it actually turned out not too bad, and yeah, like I said before, I think it'll last through to the end of the season at least. So yeah, the other thing you might be wondering is, why do we absolutely go nuts when we see rain coming? Trying to get as much off as possible. Well, the answer is any rain you get on a crop can potentially damage it. So one of it is it just reduces the quality of the grain. But one of the big ones is if you have a few days where it's just wet, raining, drizzle, it soaks up the seed in the head, and if it doesn't get a chance to dry out, it'll actually germinate in the head, and you end up with little sprouts on all the grain. And that obviously, you're limited to where you can sell that. It's obviously only going to be sold as feed, but yeah, it's worth quite a bit less. So it might be $100, $150 less a tonne or more, who knows what the market has got it at, but yeah, over thousands of tons, that's a lot of money. So that's why the grain's a lot safer when it's in a silo or out of the paddock than, yeah, whenever there's weather coming. So that's the reason why everyone's going nuts, because it can make the difference between making a profit or not. In the previous video, I mentioned that the old man's ute had died. So yeah, it looks like I've just had a heap of blow-by out of it. So yeah, it's virtually no good. So yeah, we ripped the motor out. Now I've got Brad here, he's just pulling the head off to try and figure out exactly what's going on. So yeah, Brad was actually an engine reconditioner back before he came back onto the farm, and the old man too was a mechanic back in the day. And yeah, so there's a few skills floating around, but yeah, so just basically trying to work out whether to go ahead, rebuild it, or just chuck it out, get another one, or yeah, just which way to go. But yeah, not really the kind of thing you want happening in the middle of harvest, but you just gotta deal with it.
Here we have the head off my work ute. This is number 4 cylinder, and it looks pretty good. But the number 1 has got a real bad score in the cylinder wall. There's no obvious crack in the top of the piston, but we believe that it's cracked at or below the ring landings, and so that's where we think all the blow-by is coming from. So we're now just wondering which way to go. Reconditioned engine, a second-hand engine, or a rebuild. So we'll see what develops.
Now, you might have noticed in some of the previous videos, one of the headers didn't look like it was spreading as far or as wide out the back, and yeah, so the reason was the flails on the chopper were worn on header number 1.
This was an example of the old flails. The winglets are worn right out, and the cutting edges are worn right out, compared to these new ones, which have a much sharper edge and a flail which helps give you a wider spread of the straw when it's going.
So it should be a lot better now. You want to get it to spread as wide as possible, because then the straw isn't as concentrated, which can lead to blockages when you try to plant next year.
It's about 9:30 at night. We're just checking the moisture in the grain. We do 5 samples and then it averages it all out. And the bottom one's moisture and the top one's protein. And it's looking a bit close. They're talking big rain tomorrow, perhaps floods, so we're trying to get what we can, even if the moisture is a little high, and we'll put it in our silos. We're hoping to get rid of the dry stuff to go to town. Going to be 13 by the look of it.
Yeah, it's all right for town, but
13.2, 10.8 protein.
So basically the decision was made to get as much off as we could and put it into our own silos where there's aeration, so it doesn't matter if they're a little bit wet. Over time it can take a while to actually dry it down, but we can get that dried. So yeah, harvesting wet grain is never fun, but yeah, when there's the risk of a big rain coming, you don't mind. So yeah, we just ended up putting it all into the mother bin and then trying to get trucks to come and cart it up to the silo. Yeah, the problem is with the bigger headers, obviously if you're doing 40 tonne an hour, it's pretty tricky to keep up just with the little trucks, and yeah, it was just quite boggy and wet, so it was a little interesting. We didn't actually get any footage of any trucks bogged, but yeah, you can just see there it's just quite tacky. So yeah, it wasn't the most fun, but we were able to get a decent amount off, so that was the main goal. And this would be a good time to update too on the modifications we did to the auger, because we really wanted to compare it in the wheat. It looks like it probably hasn't done a lot, putting that extra bit of flighting in the bottom section. So yeah, we're still trying to suss out what might help with that situation. But anyway, we're learning along the way. So yeah, we're very thankful we didn't get as much rain as they forecast. They were forecasting another 100 mils. Yeah, and so very thankful that didn't happen, because even at the rain we got, I think we got another maybe 30 mils sort of was fairly the number around the area. But had we got much more, then yeah, we would have had some serious flooding. So very, very thankful for that. And yeah, we just hope that we can keep getting some more grain off, because that's what we're here to do. Yeah guys, sorry it's been a bit of a different video, but yeah, hopefully next week we'll have a midweek video and then one at the end of the week again. There should be some more content, but yeah, anyway, if you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one.